So. Guten Morgen, Klasse. Kommt zurück zum Unterricht. Heute lernen wir, wie man Kinderpässe tötet. Ja, ganz wichtig. Cloud, du musst gut aufpassen. Ich werde mal nämlich sehr schnell entführen. Und, sehr viele Gespräche. B-Support, Unsere Bros kommen näher zusammen.
Claude, are you aware of the most recent conflict within the Alliance?
Hello to you too, Lawrence. And you'll have to be more specific. The Alliance is always bickering over one thing or another.
Margrave Edmund is raising objections over the assignment of his troops to the eastern defenses.
If you please one noble, another will only gripe. No matter what happens, there will always be conflict.
That is just the kind of lackadaisical attitude that causes more conflict among us than necessary. Now, listen to me carefully. House Edmund may not hold much land, but the land they do control is quite rich. They also maintain a thriving port. Their influence is poised to rival even the most powerful players in the Alliance, yet they claim they cannot spare a fair share of troops? Do you find it acceptable to let such an obviously unreasonable objection stand?
It's not as though the threat of Elmira to the east has proven all that threatening of late.
Such negligence! What makes you so certain the Elmirans will not attack us tomorrow? If certain dukes hold back their proper share of support, it will only serve to weaken House Goneril's hold of our eastern flank.
Calm yourself. I am well aware that the financial situation of House Edmund is quite exceptional. However, what you fail to realize is that they're lacking in troops. They're not lying when they say they don't have that many to spare. As it were, the Elmirans have been nothing but peaceful since we refortified Fodlan's Locket. And are you aware that Margrave Edmund paid the majority of the costs for those repairs?
Is that so?
In fact, it's largely thanks to the skilled craftsmen he assembled that the fortress is now so impregnable. I, for one, wouldn't want to attack a fortress as formidable as that.
I do see your point. If House Edmund has already made its fair contribution, then that is all we can ask. Very well. I withdraw my objection. But even the sturdiest fortress needs soldiers to defend it. If we continue to squabble amongst ourselves, it will eventually fall.
Well, and here I thought he only cared about status. Still, if someone like him really came to lead the Alliance, it would not bode well for Elmira.
Da hat uns ein bisschen so argumentativ auf die Fresse bekommen. Haha. Okay, wer als nächstes? Ignaz. Das könnte interessant werden.
Claude, why didn't you say anything?
You were praying so fervently, I didn't want to interrupt.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I wasn't praying.
No? What then?
I was just thinking about the goddess.
Were you now? Fascinating. Please, go on.
Not here. Let's go somewhere else.
So, you were pondering the existence of the goddess, then?
Yes. All right, consider this. The archives here have all kinds of texts about the goddess, right? But when people tell stories of the goddess, it's only myths and legends that glorify her.
They probably hope to rake in more followers by glorifying the goddess as much as possible. That would be why the church tends to quietly shove all of their more questionable records under some secret rug somewhere.
Claude, don't put words in my mouth. That's not what I said. I was just wondering what the goddess looks like. That's the kind of thing I like to think about.
What the goddess looks like? Well, I suppose if she really exists, she probably looks a lot like us. In fact, she probably wouldn't be so different from that old woman working here in the dining hall.
What? Claude, please stop. The goddess I imagine is absolutely beautiful.
How rude of you, Ignaz. I'm sure that old woman was lovely back in her day.
Wow, das war irgendwie gemeint von beiden, würde ich sagen. Die arme Dame. Cloud und Hilda. Interessant. Noch sonst was? Interessant, dass Cloud und Ingrid A+ Support haben. So, Hilda, time.
Are you actually reading, Hilda? I thought you hated studying.
Oh, hush. It's just a letter from my brother. He sends them all the time.
Your brother, huh? Isn't he known as a great general of the Alliance? A true beacon of...
Don't even start. That's got nothing to do with me.
Uh-oh, better not let your brother hear you say that. 'Twould break his fraternal heart. But all joking aside, it sounds like he really cares for you.
You can say that again. He must be rather bored, too, now that the situation in Elmira has settled down.
Ah, the Elmirans, the Eastern Menace, as they're often called. I did hear your brother had fought them a number of times. In fact, I hear he's even gone toe-to-toe with Nadir, the great Elmiran warrior.
Nadir the Undefeated, was it? Just another grizzled old man as far as I'm concerned. But my father was ecstatic when he heard my brother had defeated him. He paraded my brother all over our territory. What a pain that must have been for our people.
A pain? Any celebration is something to be enjoyed. Celebration puts smiles on faces faster than anything. I'm sure even you at least congratulated him, right? A smile from you would surely mean the world to your brother.
Well, sure. Then he got all worked up and started saying things like, I am the protector of Fodlan.
That's not far from the truth, you know? Why do you think the Elmirans have been so quiet lately? They're wary of your brother. If House Goneril of the Border were a bunch of weaklings, the Elmirans would have invaded Fodlan a long time ago.
You talk about it as though you've spoken to the Elmirans yourself.
Well, I am heir to the leading house of the Alliance. I'm privy to all kinds of information, whether I like it or not.
You act so nonchalant about your studies, but you know so much about politics and history. You're a hard guy to grasp, you know that, Claude?
Oh, I disagree. I'd let you grasp me any day. My hand, my heart, even my neck. But if you want to know all of my secrets, you'll have to bear yours as well.
Okay, Klaus steht anscheinend drauf, ein bisschen gewürgt zu werden. Kinky Boy. Oh Gott. Oh. Ach. Immerhin Hilfe. Okay, Hilfe ist noch gut. Aber so viele Cloud-Supports. Hilfe. Na gut, bringen wir es hinter uns.
Meat is the best! Veggies and fish are great too, but there's nothing like a good cut of meat.
May I join you?
Hey, Lawrence! You here to eat? It looks like you barely grabbed anything.
Please, this amount will suffice for me. There's no need to compare our portions.
No wonder you're so skinny. My little sis eats more than you. Come on, have some of mine. You need it more than I do.
You offer me half-eaten scraps? The nerve! With manners like that, even a nobleman would be an absolute disgrace. Have you no dignity?
You're pretty touchy, huh? It's probably just because you're hungry.
Raphael, please, do you mind? I cannot enjoy the simple pleasure of a meal in these conditions.
Why can't you enjoy your meal? You don't like what's on the menu? You wait here. I'll go to the kitchen and find something tastier for you.
That won't be necessary. Please, just let me eat. In peace. Alone.
I don't think you get it, Lawrence. Nothing goes with a meal better than good company. If leading the Alliance is your goal, you should really try eating with other people first.
I'm afraid I fail to see the connection between leadership and dining.
If you want to be a leader, you have to know how to get along with different types of people, right? If you really want to get to know someone, all you have to do is share a meal with them.
Quite the contrary, unfortunately. It seems the more time I spend eating with you, the less likely we are to become friends.
The more you eat with someone, the more you learn about them. Their likes, their dislikes, you know? You might get some of their food that way too. You can eat more and bulk up. All that talking made me hungry again. I'm gonna go get seconds.
What an absolute bother. But I suppose he does have a point about observations of character at the dinner table.
Lorenz, du hast noch viel zu lernen. Raphael hat immer recht. Oh Gott. So viele Lorenz-Gespräche. Ich will nicht. Egal, müssen wir Intus bringen.
Ignaz, let us take a short break. I will pour tea. Please choose a teapot for us to use.
You want me to pick one?
I don't see any other Ignaz around here, do you? Go on now, we're wasting time. The pots are over here. I will leave the selection to your judgment.
Let's see. How about this?
That's rather plain. Why did you choose that one?
The tea you chose has a very subtle taste, as well as a smooth, light texture. Such an unassuming tea calls for an unassuming pot, and one that complements the tea's color. In addition, the pot I selected has a floral design. Although we can't go for a walk today, we can still bask a little in nature's beauty.
Very interesting. You know, you have an absolutely marvelous aesthetic eye. Precisely what I would expect from the son of a merchant house that has enjoyed the Gloucester's patronage for so many years. After we graduate, when you begin your trade in earnest, I will introduce you to my father.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. But I'm afraid I'm already on the path to becoming a knight.
Ah, right, you are a second son. Still, your eye for beauty is a talent that should not go to waste. Very well. If you are to be a knight, then I shall happily take you into my service.
Well...
What? Does that displease you?
Not at all. I just need a little time to think it over.
His eye for the arts is unwavering, but in all other matters he is woefully indecisive.
Ach, Lorenz, wollte dir nur nicht sagen, dass er keinen Bock auf dich hat. Und hi, Arknei, na, wie geht's? Freut dich schon drauf, noch mehr von Lorenz zu hören?
Hello, Marianne. You're well, I hope?
I am, Lorenz. Thank you.
I cannot help but notice you do not look it.
Is that so? I feel fine. Was there something you needed?
How unseemly of me. My apologies. It is not my intention to stare.
Does something about me seem off?
Oh, not at all. I was just remembering your father, or rather, comparing my experience of him to you. Your father, Margrave Edmund. He is one of the shrewdest nobles in all the Alliance, with a noted gift for pointed speech. On and beyond the battlefield, his words have the power to move friend and foe alike. My own father has said he would not want to make an enemy of him. Naturally, I am of the same mind. Your father is blessed with gifts of confidence and eloquence, yet compared to him, you seem always reticent and downcast. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cause you discomfort. It's just that the contrast between you and your father is striking.
I have very little in common with my adoptive father.
But he sent you to Garreg Mach. Clearly he sees potential in you. I think I see it too. Yes, a certain charm, gravitas if you will, just like him. Oh.
I can't say that I know too much about him. I should be going now.
Yes, of course. Please, take care. Oh, such grace, such serenity. How could such a beauty be hiding in plain sight? With a little polish, she would shine magnificently.
Lorenz, Finger von ihr. Die ist perfekt, so wie sie ist. Und Lorenz, du hast schon eine, mit der du am Ende sein wirst. Die dich den ganzen Tag herumkommandieren wird. Das ist nämlich perfekt für dich. Und ich hoffe, deine Stimme erholt sich bald, Arknei.
Ah, there's yet another option.
Lawrence, what are you doing?
Oh, hello, Hilda. I'm using these pieces to represent soldiers on the battlefield. This will allow me to better visualize concepts of strategy.
Very good. Is it fun?
Oh, it is utterly engrossing. Look, swap out just certain pieces for others, and the board completely changes. Then, even considering the same types of units, employing different individuals calls for a new set of plans.
Oh, I see. Or I kinda see. It's hard for me to grasp really complex things like this.
Nonsense. It's thanks to your many requests that I've been adapting my fighting style of late. Working to accommodate you has convincingly shown me how essential it is to rethink tactics on a continual basis. After all, the risk of getting hurt is greatly reduced if you are prepared for any situation. So now I will be ready for anything.
Lawrence, you're so wonderful, I'm at a loss for words. I'm not just saying that to flatter you either, honestly.
Tell me something, Hilda. Did you make all of these ludicrous requests of me purely so that I might have the opportunity to develop myself? Because if so, I am deeply moved. Thank you for caring so thoughtfully and passionately for my personal growth.
You're welcome.
If you will permit me to return the favor, I do have one request to make of you. Will you hear me out?
I'm not usually one for fielding requests, but I can make an exception in your case, I suppose.
I would be so pleased to have the opportunity to observe you in action, in the heat of battle. Would you be so kind as to oblige me?
Oh, very well. You've convinced me. But if it gets too intense, you'll help me out, right?
Erstmal kann ich Lorenz verstehen. Ich sehe auch gern Hilda kämpfen. Und hallo Rothagen. Das ist, today ist das so gesehen mein zweiter Durchlauf. Ich habe einen privaten mit den schwarzen Adler. Bin aber da noch selbst noch nicht durch. Da bin ich, glaube ich, Kapitel 12. Aber mit den Hirschen ist das mein erster Durchlauf. Nur noch 2 Gespräche mit Lorenz, haben wir es geschafft.
Hey Lawrence, got a minute?
Certainly. I trust you're well?
Doing great. I found a load of old weapons, just got done hauling them out of storage.
Old weapons, you say? If there are any interesting swords in there, I would love to see them.
They might only be good for training, but with a little care, who knows? Here, have some oil.
And why exactly are you giving this to me?
Like I said, they need a little care. With a bit of maintenance, some of these will really shine.
Yes, I heard you. So why did you give me the oil?
It's for polishing, Lawrence. Don't tell me you've never polished a weapon before.
But that is hardly a task befitting someone of my station. If you had an exquisite blade, something of real historical significance to complement my noble heritage, that would be another matter.
In that case, appraise while you polish, you're bound to find something good working through these.
This seems as fine an occasion as any to air my grievances. I am a highborn noble. As such, it is my sworn duty to protect the common folk. I have no time for trivialities. What's more, you seem to be under the misapprehension that you can order me about. Please think carefully about how you speak to me.
I'm not ordering you around, and I'm not talking to you as a noble either. I'm asking you to help me with this, as a friend.
I am your friend, but I am also a noble. Those two qualities are not mutually exclusive.
Oh, good. Let's get to it then, buddy.
Oh, der arme Lorenz muss sich die Hände schmutzig machen. Daran wird er bestimmt sterben. Apropos schmutzig, hallo Sylvain.
To find the analog of your beauty in nature, I can turn only to the lily. Only that flower is so sweet and so delicate as to approach your loveliness. Why, just look at these soft, delicate fingertips you have. It is as though they could blossom into fragrant lilies before my very eyes.
If you're so wild about flowers, why don't you try a flower shop? Ugh.
Oh, wow. That was... I'm sorry I saw that, but I am so glad I saw that.
Oh, did you not realize? I was only testing her. Any woman who is taken in by such simple flattery is ill-suited to my noble disposition.
Oh, okay, I'm glad you explained it, because I thought you just got rejected. Just Flat out, no way to make yourself feel better about it, rejected. And the reason, your nobleness, is because that is really not the way you go about hitting on a girl.
Oh, is it not? And I suppose you consider yourself an expert on the subject.
Pay attention, kid. Maybe you'll learn something. When I saw you, I just had to come over and say hello. Because finding you here feels like fate. Maybe we could go get some tea. Get to know each other better?
I think you must have mistaken me for someone else. Someone who cares. Please excuse me.
Exquisite. Simply masterful. When is the wedding?
That's weird. Girls usually fall for that speech. You must have spooked her.
To think that the noble House Gautier would be blessed with such a graceful and charming heir.
Please. I'm a much better heir than a self-important failure like you.
This is not worth my time.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Ich glaube, das war bisher mein absolutes Highlight bei den Unterstützungsgesprächen. Diese Frau ist ein Held, die verdient einen Orden. Kann ich sie rekrutieren? Scheint nicht der Fall zu sein. Okay. Raphael hat nur ein Unterstützungsgespräch. Schade.
Hey, Marianne, what you eating? Mind if I join you? I'm starving.
Huh? Oh,
All my favorite dishes are on the menu today. I might have grabbed too much. You want some?
no thanks.
All you've got on your plate are leaves. Are you sure that'll fill you up?
I'm done eating now. I have to go.
Huh? You're already done eating? But there's still food on your plate. Hey, Marianne! Huh. Maybe she's not feeling well. I should probably go check on her later.
Oh, is that so? I'm so happy you found all of that food. A little gray starling told me that you can find berries if you fly out toward the mountains.
Oh, I found Marianne. I didn't know she spent her time here. It sounds like she's talking to someone.
What's that? You want to try some nectar from the flowers in the greenhouse? That might be tricky. I guess you could try it if I'm already there. Otherwise, you might get locked in.
Hey, Marianne! Who are you talking to? Huh? Oh, the birdie flew off.
Yes, it looks like he has. What are you doing here, Raphael?
You were acting a little strange when we were eating earlier, so I wanted to check on you. I was worried.
That's sweet of you, but I'm fine.
Are you sure? Well, that's good to hear. As long as... Wait a minute! Were you just talking to a bird?
Excuse me?
I knew it! You can talk to birds! I'm right, aren't I?
Yes.
That's incredible! This place is full of interesting folks. But I didn't think anyone spoke birdie.
No, that's not it. This bird just happened to be speaking human.
Amazing! I hope I get to meet a bird who speaks human one day.
Oh, Raphael. Aber naiver Raphael. Aber ich finde es interessant, dass Marianne mit Tieren sprechen kann. Vielleicht hat das mit ihrer Hintergrundgeschichte zu tun, die ich nicht kenne. Apropos Marianne. Sie hat noch ein Gespräch.
Why do I have to clean the library? It looks like you're not busy. I was quite busy sampling pastries, I'll have you know. Who wants to sort books anyway? They're so bulky and heavy, it takes forever to lug them around. Right, Marianne? You agree with me, right? No, I don't mind it. Oh, you like cleaning then? I will say you look like someone who'd be good at it. Well... In that case, it's all yours. I'd only slow you down if I'm being honest. As I always say, if you want something done right, let someone else do it themselves. Right, I'm off to run some errands. I'll leave all this in your capable hands. Hey, Marianne, are you? Whoa, what happened? This place looks even worse than before. I didn't realize that was possible.
I'm sorry, Hilda. I just didn't know the best way to organize the books while sorting.
Oh, well, no way around it, I suppose. I'll show you how it's done. First, you have to decide where you'll put each topic. Then, all of the books that don't match that topic, remove them from the section. When you remove them, you need a temporary place to put them. Let's put books on magic here, books on swordsmanship here. Once you've done that, you just put the books back in their sections, like so.
Wow, Hilda, that was incredible.
Yeah, what kind praise. Looks like in the end, I'm doing this whole thing on my own,
Sorry. The least I can do is help you put them back on the shelf.
Okay, damit hätte ich nicht rechnen, dass hier gerade ein Reverse Hilda passiert. Hilda macht die Arbeit. Ich glaube, sie ist krank.
Why do I have to organize the library?
Schon wieder? Wie oft musst du das machen?
I'll get in trouble if it's not done, and I can't think of anyone who'd do it for me. Since no one else is around, though, time for a little break. What are those sounds? Ha! Yeah! Leonie, always at it. How exhausting that must be. What's this?
Hey, what are you doing? That's mine.
If you leave it lying on the ground, people will think it's trash.
I usually wear it around my neck, but I put it down while I'm training so I don't get sweat all over it.
Well, people won't know that, will they? You should have just left it in your room.
It's a good luck charm. If I don't keep it close by, then what's the point?
How stubborn of you. I will say it looks to be a very well-loved charm.
Captain Gerald gave it to me when I was a kid.
If it's that important to you, you should wash it. Then again, I suppose it is made of wood. Have you considered coating it with resin? That would preserve it nicely. You could even accessorize it, make it look cute.
Thanks, but Captain Gerald made it especially for me. I'd really rather keep it just as it is.
Well, if that's how you feel, I won't argue with you. Me personally, I'd choose a cute necklace over a dirty old charm any day.
I'm sure you would. But Captain Gerald didn't treat me as some young girl. He treated me like a person who mattered, an equal. He taught me everything. I don't want to forget his teachings, so I'm going to keep this charm just the way it is.
Huh, what do you know?
Damit haben wir es fast geschafft. Steht nur noch... Okay, interessant. Lady Rea.
Welcome, Professor. This is the first time I have welcomed you here, is it not? There is no need to be nervous. Please, come closer. When you speak with me here in this room, you are not speaking with the Archbishop, but with Rea. It's just me.
Okay. Das erste Mal, dass wir uns übereinigt, weil wir direkt in ihr Zimmer. Lady, du bist sehr fordernd, sage ich mal. Versuch es mal positiv zu nennen. Verstanden.
Such a sweet child. My apologies. I should not be treating you like a child. As Gerald's kin, somehow you don't seem at all a stranger to me. Speaking of Gerald, may I ask if he ever spoke of me to you?
Was wäre jetzt die beste Antwort? Ich glaube, die positivste wäre die dritte, aber es wäre wahrscheinlich gelogen. Sag mal die Wahrheit. Hat er nie mit mir geredet, hat er auch euch niemals erwähnt?
Oh dear, how heartless of him. In any case, let us endeavor to become closer from here on out. Since you are here, shall I tell you about the Gerald that I knew? By the look of it, you haven't heard much about his time at the monastery, have you? When I first met Gerald, he was quite young. Why, he could not even grow a full beard at that point. On one fateful occasion, the band of mercenaries he belonged to fought alongside the Knights of Seros. I was traveling with the Knights at the time, and Gerald jumped in front of an attack meant for me. He was gravely wounded, on the verge of death. I tended to his wounds in a desperate attempt to save his life. Thankfully, my efforts were not in vain. Gerald managed to escape a seemingly certain death. I made arrangements for him to receive further care at Garrick Mach. The moment he was deemed fully recovered, I invited him to join the Knights. Well, it is not a story I have often repeated. Even at the monastery, there are not many who know that. I tell you this because, to me, you are the child of the one who saved my life all those years ago. And also,